Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to online class. In this video, we have to discuss about the existing non-profit organizations. Second question. In my previous video, we are all discussed about accounting for not-for-profit organization of existing NPO. Question number 1. In this video, we have to discuss about accounting for not-for-profit organization. Question number 2. My dear students, here slightly changes between the previous videos and the present video. In the previous questions, the transactions directly they are given, but here the transaction directly also given and indirectly also given. Few transactions will be affected, few transactions will be ignored in this question. Why it is ignored? That we had all discussed in this video only. Before moving to this, just we have to read the question. So here the question is given. Following is the balance sheet, receipts and payments account of Gurudev Education Trust Tumkur. Balance sheet is given. Balance sheet as on 31st March 2018. So 2018 is the past year. Balance sheet details they are given. Liabilities, amount, assets, amount. Under liabilities, capital fund they are given. Bank loan 35,000. Office expenses 5,000. Cash in hand 15,000. Furniture 25,000. Buildings 70,000. Sports materials 20,000. Library books 30,000. Total of balance sheet is 1,60,000. 1,60,000 they are given. And also they are given receipts and payments account as on 31st March 2019. So according to this, 2019 is the present year, 2018 is the past year. Let's come to discuss about receipts and payments amount. So in the receipts amount, payments amount given. Receipt side to balance brought down 15,000. To subscription, here two values they are given. In the inner column, subscription 2018 and 19, that is present year subscription 45,000. 2019 and 20 future year subscription 5,000. Both we should add it and you will write to the outcome column 50,000. Entrance fees 8,000. Donations 12,000. Interest 5,000. Let's come to the payment side. Office expenses 17 and 18, that is past year 5,000. 18 and 19, 17,000. While adding these two, we will get 23,000 is the outer balance. Postage 100. Printing 500. Salary 25,000. Purchase of books. Purchase of books 10,000. Bank loan repaid 5,000. Subscription to newspaper, so 600. See, receipt side subscription is given. Payment side subscription to newspaper is given. So whenever the receipt side subscription is given means it is an income. Whenever the subscription to newspapers or subscriptions to journals, subscription to periodicals, the term used and it is allocated in the payment side means we can imagine that is an expenditure to the company. And finally, balance carried out 2 lakh 65 60 balance carried on 26,800, total 90,000, 90,000. This is the details about receipts and payments account. And let's come to the adjustments. Adjustment number 1, it will says that subscription outstanding. I already informed that outstanding subscription. This is will be always come to the incomes. So we should add it to the income, and again we should show in the asset side of balance sheet. Next, number 2, prepaid salary. Outstanding this we should add it. Here what will happen? Prepaid already we are given, so we should deduct it from the expenditure, and again it should be added into the recorded into the asset side of balance sheet. Capital is 50% maintenance fees and 100% donation. And point number 4, depreciate buildings at 10% per annum. Depreciate buildings at 10% per annum. So for this, prepare income and expenditure account, and balance sheet as on 31st March 2019. So this is the information they are given. My dear students, must and should copy the question in your classwork. First you have to copy, later on you have to read, after that you have to classify the transactions, and finally you have to interpret the data. You have to write the solution. You have to make a solution to this question. So here information is there that we have to know. Let's come to classify the transaction. How to classify the transaction? On what basis we have to classify the transaction? So in the previous balance sheet liability side, expenses as well as the liabilities are available. Asset side, assets as well as the incomes will be available. So we have to classify all the incomes and expenses from the balance sheet, and assets and liabilities will come to new balance sheet. When come to the receipts and payments account, under receipt side, incomes and liabilities are available. Once again I will tell that in the receipt side, incomes and liabilities are available. When come to the payment side, expenditure and assets are available. Though in the receipts and payments account, first we have to segregate or differentiate or mark, or we have to divide the expenses and liabilities, incomes and assets, that we have to classify. Later on we have to move to the solution. Okay, my dear students, we have to come to know the classification. So here the question itself, the transaction they are given. Following is the balance sheet and receipts and payments account of Gurudev Education Trust. So the education trust name is Gurudev Education Trust Tumakuru. So name of the NPO is given Gurudev Education Trust. So their balance sheet is given on 31st March 2018. So in that capitals, which is a liability, it is come to the new balance sheet. Bank loan, here education institution has taken loan from the bank. So up to the repayment, we are credit to the bank. So we are the liabilities. We are liable to pay the loan. So we are considered as a liability. Office expenses. So here office expenses is given. At the same time, the next year the expenses will be carried forward. If the expenses will not be carried forward to the next year, means we won't consider. Not carry forward means we should consider. But here what will happen? 18, that is 17 and 18 is the present past year. So the past year value again we have to carry forward. So this value we are going to be ignored. We won't consider, because I already said that. So in case of NPO, we won't consider the past data as well as the future. Only we have to consider the present. So we have to implement the transaction of the present year only. So this expenses belongs to the past year, and the same time this transaction will be transferred to the present year, though this transaction will be ignored. We won't consider. And let's come to the assets like cash in hand. We won't consider because we want present cash. We don't want the past cash. So remaining all the assets will come to the new balance sheet. New balance sheet we have to record all the assets. This is about the classification of assets as well as liabilities and incomes and expenditure from the previous balance sheet. Let's come to know the classification of receipts and payments account. So in this present year opening balance, what the cash will have 15,000, same it will be carried forward to the next year. So we don't want the beginning of the cash. We want to know what is the present cash situation. So first balance pattern we have to ignore. See, second point, to subscription. What are given? Subscription. Subscription is income. Who is going to give the income? The subscribers. Who is the subscriber? The members of NPO will be called as a subscriber. So subscription means the amount received from the subscribers or the members of NPO is called as a subscription. So we want only present year information. So present year is 2018 and 19, it should be considered as an income. Next, it will come to the 18 and 19 is the future year. It will come to the balance sheet liabilities. We should write in the balance sheet and on the side of liabilities like this. Place we have to record it in the new balance sheet. Entrance fees, for this there is adjustment. What they are given? So capitalize 50% for entrance fees, that means half income, half capital. Have you understood this one? For this there is adjustment. Capitalize 50% entrance fees and 100% donation. So this capital fees is half income, half balance sheet. Donation totally considered as a balance sheet. Under capital fund we should add this value. To interest is nothing but income. So as if said they are given. So we are going to receive the interest. This is income to us. Let's come to the payment side. Under payment side, office expenses. So here two values again they are given. 17 and 18, the way value is carried forward, so 17, 18 we are going to be ignored. 18 and 19 we should consider as a expenditure. So instead of 23,000 we should consider only 17,000. That 17,000 will be considered as a expenditure. Postage expenditure. Printing is an expenditure. Salary is an expenditure to the company. Purchase of books assets, because we have a books. Again in the next year also we have to show the books, means we have to purchase that book. So books are the assets of the NPO. So once we purchase this, it should be used more than 10 batches. So it will be considered as an expenses. Bank loan repaid, liability minus, we have to deduct from the liabilities. And subscription to newspapers. So we are going to pay the money to the newspaper holder for the sake of purchasing the newspaper every day. So it is expenses to the company. And also balance carried on. It is a cash. We come to the new balance sheet. Cash we write in the new balance sheet and the heading cash in hand only we have to write. So this is the classification of from receipts and payments account. Next we have to move to the adjustment. Here few adjustments to write twice. So some adjustment may not be repeated in twice. So which are those adjustments made? First point, subscription outstanding. We should add an incomes plus and balance sheet. We should show under assets. Under balance sheet assets. Prepaid salary expenditure minus balance sheet asset. We have to write under assets side. Capitalize 50%. Half income, half capital. Donations full will be capital only. Depreciate building. So first expenditure we will find out the value and balance sheet minus. So with the help of this information, prepare income and expenditure account and balance sheet as of 31st March 2019. So 2019 is the present year. So for this year we have to prepare the Final amounts of non-profit organization. Let's we have to draw the columns of accounting for non-profit organizations. Ledger account. So here we have to prepare the NPO's accounts. Before that, first we have to draw the columns. Later on, we have to move to the solutions. First, we should write the heading of name of NPO, Gurudev. Gurudev Education Trust. Under that, we have to write income and expenditure account as on 31st March 2019. After that, we will draw the columns for NPO. We will draw the columns for income and expenditure account. And we have to fulfill the conditions. We should write debit and credit. So on the debit side, we have to write expenditure amount, incomes amount. We will write debit and credit compulsory. First, we have to draw the columns for accounting for not-for-profit organizations. So under that, we have to draw the columns for this income and expenditure account. Okay, my dear students, let's come to preparation of income and expenditure account. In this account, we have to record all the type of expenses and incomes. So expenditure related transaction here is available in the payment side of the previous what the question we have to given. So in that we have to record it. So income and expenditure account is totally based on receipts and payments account. Keep in your mind, income and expenditure account is totally based on receipts and payments account only. So on the payment side, first point we have to, they are given office expenses. We will write by side they are given, so we have to write two side to office expenses. Value is 17,000. Instead of 23,000, we have to record 17,000 only. Why we should record 17,000 only? Means so 17,000 is the present year expenses. So 5,000 is past year expenses. So it is carried forward. So we won't consider, it should be ignored. After that, we have to write to postage. To postage. Value is 100. To printing 500. Printing 500. And also salary. To salary. We should write in the inner column 25,000. For this there is an adjustment. Adjustment number 2 it says that prepaid salary minus prepaid salary 2,500. Therefore, actual salary is 22,500. After that, after salary, we have one more expenses, that is subscription to newspapers. To subscription to newspapers. So rupees 600 they are given. So 600 rupees is the expenses to the company. So these are all the transactions which are taken from receipts and payments account, and the payment side these are all expenses it is available. Adjustments will be there, that will come later. While writing the transaction, any adjustment is there means we have to adjust and we will write the value. If some adjustment will not be adjusted here means we will write later. Let's come to the income side. Income related transactions are available in previous receipt side they are given. In that first point they are given to balance brought down. So balance brought down means we should ignore that value. Therefore we won't consider. After that they are given subscription. We will write by subscription. By subscription, you will write in the inner column 45,000 is the subscription. For this subscription, any adjustment is there. Yes, there is an adjustment. The adjustment is subscription outstanding rupees 5,000 they are given. That subscription we will write here. Add outstanding subscription. Subscription 5,000. 45 plus 5, 50,000 is the actual subscription which we are issued from the NPO. After that, any other incomes is there? Just we have to go through. So after that, what they are given? Entrance fees. For entrance fees, there is an adjustment. We will write half entrance fees. Entrance fees. Therefore, the value of entrance fees is 8,000 into 50% or half means we will get 4,000 rupees as the entrance fees. And also, they are saying that interest they are saying we will write by interest. The value of interest is 5,000. The value of interest is 5,000. So, all the transactions we have recorded from receipts and payments account. Now, let's come to the adjustment. Here, adjustment number 1 will say that subscription outstanding rupees 5,000. So, first outstanding subscription we should consider as the income. We should add it to the income. And later on, we will write in the balance sheet. Adjustment number 2. Prepaid salary rupees 2,500. Salary is the expenses. For that already advanced salary has taken by the person, that will be deducted from the present salary. That means I have a salary of rupees 25,000. But in that 25,000 I already taken 2,500. But at the payment of this month, they are deducting advance payment and remaining balance amount they have to pay me. So, what is that remaining amount means 22,500. How it will means 25 minus 2,500, we will get 22,500. Next adjustment number 3, capitalize 50% entrance fee. So, 50% we will treat it as a capital. And remaining 50% what will happen? The 50% we will consider as a income. So we will write in the income side. And last adjustment, depreciate buildings at 10% per annum. Depreciation is an expenditure. So here value is not given. Here particular rate, particular percentage is given. So we have to calculate the value of depreciation. So first, to depreciation of furniture. Sorry, not furniture, depreciation of buildings. So here the value of buildings is 70,000, 70 into 10%. You will get 7,000. You will get 7,000. So these are all the transactions which are affected from the receipts and payments account, and it will reflect to our income and expenditure account. Now it's time to close the income and expenditure account. Finally, we have to get surplus or deficit that we have to find out. So before closing out, just assume inside we have a highest value, debit side or credit side. So credit side only we will get the highest value. What is that value? Is 50 plus 4, 54 plus 5, 59,000. Same value will transfer to debit side also, 59,000. Out of 59,000, we have to deduct all the expenses, all the payments. We will get 11,300 as the difference answer. For this we have to write to excess of incomes over expenses in bracket surplus. In bracket we will write surplus. So this is the first phase of preparation of income and expenditure account. So this is the first account we have to prepare. We have to move to prepare the second phase of account, that is balance sheet of not-for-profit organization. Okay, my dear students, let's come to prepare the balance sheet of Gurudev Education Trust as on 31st March 2019. We have to draw the columns for balance sheet. We will write heading balance sheet as on 31st March 2019. So according to this question, 2019 is the present year, 2020 is the future year. So balance sheet headings: liabilities, amount, assets, amount, liabilities, amount, assets, amount. Okay, my dear students, let's come to prepare the balance sheet. So with the new balance sheet we have to prepare this, which is totally based on the previous year balance sheet. So in the previous year balance sheet, first content what they are given, capital fund. We should write directly capital fund. Capital fund. For this capital fund, we have to add a few transactions. Which are those transactions? One is we have to add in the half interest fees, because it is given in the adjustment number 3. So capitalize 50% interest fee and 100% donation. So both the values we should add it here. Apart from that, one more value we should add it. If in the income and expenditure account, if you get surplus means we should add it. If we get deficit means we should deduct it from the capital fund. But in this question, what we have to get? We have to get only the surplus. So that surplus we have to transfer here. So in that capital fund, the value of capital fund is refund is 1,20,000. 1,20,000. For this add 50% entrance fees, that is 4,000. Add 100% donation. So the value of donation is available in the balance sheet. So add 100% donation. So the value of donation is 12,000. For this add surplus, that we have to get 11,300. Totally we have to get 1,47,300. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 2, 4, 1,47,300. This is our capital fund. For this, bank loan is there. Bank loan. The value of bank loan is 35,000. We should write in the inner column because we have taken loan from bank, that is 35,000. But at the time of repayment, we have to pay something. That payment will be deducted. And what is the amount due to the bank? So minus repayment 5,000. So we are debt for 30,000. 30,000 is the amount due to the bank. Next, come to the asset side. In the asset side, first the heading they are given cash in hand. Cash in hand. We will write the heading cash in hand, but the value we should take from the receipts and payments account. In the end they are given 26,800. 26,800 is the present value of cash balance. After that cash, we have to write furniture. For this furniture, there is no adjustment. We should write directly 25,000. 25,000. After that, buildings they are given. Buildings. The value of buildings is 70,000. We should write in the inner column minus depreciation, that is 7,000. So 70 minus 7, 63,000 is the present value of buildings. After that buildings, sports materials. The value of sports materials is 20,000. Last is library books. The value of library books is 30,000. Plus, for this we have to another the books which are purchased in the receipts and payments account, they are given purchasers, that is 10,000. 30 plus 10, 40,000. So all the transactions from the previous balance sheet which is completed. Let's come to the receipts and payment account. Whether any transaction we left to record the new balance sheet Once again we have to check it. So in the receipt side, somewhere we have to wrote subscription 2019 and 20. So that will be considered as pre-received subscription 5,000. Pre-received subscription 5,000 is there. Apart from that, no other transaction in the receipts and payments account. Let's come to the adjustment. Adjustment number 1, it will say that the outstanding subscription, always outstanding come to the asset side. Outstanding subscription. Outstanding subscription. So value is 5,000. Outstanding subscription 5,000. Next, adjustment number 2, it will say that prepaid salary. Prepaid salary 2,500. 2,500. Don't confuse. Pre-issued is a income, prepaid is a expenses. Expenses paid in advance means that is asset to the company. Income received is in advance means that is a liability to the company. So second adjustment. Third adjustment, capitalize 50% entrance fees and 100% donation. We have to capitalize here. After that, adjustment number 4, depreciate buildings by 10%. The 10% already we calculate here and we have to transfer here. So no other transactions are there. Now it's time to close the balance sheet. It's time to close the balance sheet. The total of balance sheet is 1,82,300. Here also 1,82,300. So this is the exact method with which we have to calculate the receipts and payment, income and expenditure account, as well as the balance sheet of Gurudev Education Society. My dear students, this is the exact procedure. It is very easy, but once we have to understand this, it is very easy. If you are not giving any concentration related to this chapter, means you people only lose the marks. You are the losers. We are not the losers. You people only the losers. So, my dear student, very simple they are given. So, income and expenditure here. Name of NPO you didn't write means you have to deduct 2 marks. Account name you didn't write means they will deduct 1 mark. Debit and credit you didn't write means they will deduct 1 mark. After finishing the account, you won't close the columns clearly means you have to deduct there also 1 mark. When these things will be happen means if your score will be more above 95 plus will be there means during that time the evaluator tries to reduce your marks because he will not willing to give 100 out of 100 in your paper. So he will try to reduce your marks. So first you have to write. So like this only you should draw the column. So always left hand side expenditure will be there, right hand side incomes will be there. Why means the expenditure should be based on payments and income should be based on receipts. So here office expenses 17,000. Why we should write 17,000 only means because here the present year information and previous year information is given. Suppose the previous information is given but it should not be carried forward for the present year means then we have to consider that will be as an expenses and we should deduct it. But here what will happen is the same value already they carry forward. If they are not carried forward means we won't consider that value. So we should ignore the past year and we should consider the present year expenses. Postage as usual 100 rupees, printing 500 rupees, salary. So salary, the payment of salary is an expenditure. For this salary, any advance we have to pay this, we should deduct and balance amount we have to pay to the employees. So that is 22,500. To subscription to newspaper 600 to depreciation on buildings, so that we have to calculate it, which is given in adjustment number 4. So the rate is for 10%, so the value of buildings is 70,000. 70,000 into 10% means we will get just 7,000. And let's come to the incomes means subscription is an income. For this adjustment number 1, they are given outstanding subscription rupees 5,000. That 5,000 we should add it to the particular income. And half entrance fees will be treated as an income and half will be treated as a capital. And interest, if any interest given in the receipt side means it is a income, any interest will be given in the payment side means we should consider as a expenditure, while making the total of both the sides. So credit side only will get the highest value, during that time we will get the profit only. So that profit is 11,300. This will be added to the capital fund. So like this manner we have to prepare the receipts and payment, income and expenditure account and balance sheet of accounting for not-for-profit organization of Gurudev Education Trust. My dear students, it's a very simple question. If you have any doubts regarding this one, you can directly contact me. I will solve your doubt if you have a doubt. So thank you everyone.